G'day, legends. I'm Flan, and this is Hangovers From Hell, the true crime podcast where bad decisions meet worse outcomes, where alcohol, ego, heartbreak, and chaos collide, and where no one makes it out unscathed. Each week, we dive into stories that start with a party and end with prison, hospital beds, or headlines no one wants to be in. So grab your drink, but sip slowly, because in these stories, the hangover is the least of anyone's problems. As per usual, I'm joined by my mate Doggo and our producer, Chonk Donkey. Fellas?
How you going, you filthy mutt?
Hello. That's also not my name.
Chonky.
Shut up, Chunky.
Good to see you, boys. So, Doggo,
Yep.
that's part of this podcast. You get a drink that I tell you to get,
Yep.
and you try it on the episode.
Yep.
So, do you want to tell us what we're drinking tonight?
Yeah, so actually a pretty easy assignment this week. Like, I only really got one drink or thing. Like last week, well, one of the other episodes, I had to bake a beef Wellington from scratch. So that took me a while.
Yeah.
But I only had one thing to do this week.
Yep.
Which was a fireball, flaming fireball shot, which seemed a little bit too
Yes.
easy. So I decided to make my own cinnamon whiskey. So I did that.
Wow.
So I've got this.
But
jar
a beef Wellington was too hard.
here. Yeah, essentially.
Right.
Well, I did have this whiskey hanging around that I'd made that I wanted to do something with, and then this came up, and so I got a little bit inspired, and so I infused it this week with some cinnamon. I bought some cinnamon sticks, cloves, star anise, orange zest, brown sugar,
Wow.
and bit of cool shit, and smells like Christmas. So I'm actually really pumped on it. So I've got
cool.
half a litre here. So
That's great. Good on you. The only thing is, it was a flaming fireball, and Fireball is actually the brand name
yep,
of the drink.
that's true. Well, I also got
yeah.
a
Ooh,
one of these guys,
yeah.
a little 50 ml.
He's holding up a small bottle of Fireball whiskey.
Yeah,
Well
so
done.
I got that, and then also because you need to make it to light on fire, because this is only 33% alcohol. I think my whiskey is about 40. You can't actually light that on fire.
Yeah.
So I've got a little bit in this
Petrol.
shot glass. Yeah. Some 95% just neutral spirit that I had in the shed that I'd made. So I got this pipette here. So I'm gonna squeeze a bit of this on top of my shot and light that on fire. So pretty pumped
Cool.
on that.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Are you going to do that now, or are you going to
I don't know. Should I do it now?
save it?
No, let's save it.
Go on. Let's do it now.
Oh, you want to do it now?
Okay, let's save it. No, save it.
Okay, that's
fine.
Yeah, I'll finish this beer. I'll get into the story. Roll through, and then
I don't know if an audio medium really needs us to sit here and look at him do a shot. He could probably just do it whenever, and you could say,
Well,
"Oh, he did it." Oh, wow,
okay,
he's done it.
No, I'll describe it.
yeah, and your reaction might be interesting. But also, I think we
Yeah.
talked about this the other week. My wife said, "Why the fuck do you actually have to do this stuff, you idiot?"
Because it's an
And I'm
audio
like,
episode. Yeah.
because it makes it authentic. So, as
That's
producer,
true.
I thought you would understand that. But
Oh no, it has to be authentic. That's part of the legal side of it as well. We can't just say stuff we're not going to do
that's all right. That was in the prenup, the podnup.
in the prenup. Yeah.
Speaking of doing things for the podcast and doing what we say we're going to do, Chonky, I did ask you to get something for this episode as well.
You did.
What was that?
That was.
And did you get it?
It was cocaine. And unfortunately, I have been away for work, and the only thing I could scrape together was some, I think it's secondhand fentanyl pads. So I'm going to slap those on, and we'll see how we go.
Cool. All right. Well, Good job.
Yep.
Good try.
Talking the big game with all the drugs. As soon as you get an opportunity, can't even come through with the goods. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Obviously, on Hangovers from Hell, we don't condone anything illegal, and we would never have Chonk Donkey ears drugs.
Oh, you tell me that now after I put them on.
We just had, our lawyers said we had to say that.
I didn't know you could get fentanyl pads, or that we had lawyers.
Yes.
So,
Isn't that how fentanyl's administered? Like, you get those things and stick them on you?
I
Those
inject
into your
it
skin?
in between my toes, but it's I guess.
It's just because.
The weird thing about that though is like your arms, the veins in your arms are fine. So I just don't know why you do it between your toes, but you know.
Well, I don't want
Horses or
clients to
something?
see it in meetings, like the track marks.
And-
I rarely take my shoes and socks off in a meeting, so
And it's also because he's wearing long sleeves all the time and thongs, so it's just convenient.
that's right.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. It was just after midnight when the screaming started. The neighbours thought someone was setting off fireworks until they heard the word fire. A young man was running across a backyard in flames. People were chasing him, screaming, trying to tear off his burning clothes, slapping him with anything they could grab, a dog bed, a towel, whatever was nearby. Someone finally threw him into the pool. The flames vanished with a hiss. But the damage was already done. His skin had melted. His voice was gone. And the woman standing in the corner, the one who lit the match, wasn't a stranger. She was his mate.
Like mate, as in like they're mating, like they mate together, or like friend.
Not in the animal sense,
No, okay,
in the human sense.
okay,
Like buddy.
right. So they weren't, having a go.
He wasn't standing on her head
No.
and pecking her.
Is that how you mate? I don't know how you got 3 kids, man.
Imagine if he was doing it right, he'd probably have about 20 kids. This is the story of Corby Jean Warpole, a young woman who turned a backyard party into a living nightmare. And the most haunting part, it all happened because of one comment. Our story starts in a small town called Harrowing in New South Wales, a peaceful place with a funny name where everyone knows everyone and backyard parties are practically a religion. What is a funny town, or a town with a funny name that you've been to?
Yeah, well, there's that suburb in Perth called Inaloo, which is pretty funny.
Yes,
Yep.
that's true.
Yep.
I went to a suburb in Queensland recently called Yorkeys Knob,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
so that was a good one.
Yeah, I like,
Yeah.
there's one in Queensland called Humpy Bong, which is pretty good.
Oh, yeah?
Or
Yeah, that's
what I
true.
always think's really funny is in Queensland as well, there's a town called Yeppoon. But like
Yes.
growing up, like a poon was a vagina, right? So it's like I'm going to
Yeah.
Yeppoon.
Yeah,
that's
that
very
was good
funny.
when I found out about that.
Yeah, it's really
Quite
good.
entertaining.
Isn't there a town in
Yeah.
Queensland up similar, close to Yeppoon? I think it's like it's just a number. It's called a number.
No, I don't think
Good,
there
like
is.
1770 or something.
No, I don't think so.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah, there 100% is.
Is it called 100%?
No, it's called 1770.
Yeah, that's really.
Oh, wow, well done.
Yeah.
Oh, I just hadn't heard of it, so I assumed that there wasn't.
Nah, and then there's Iron Knob, is a good one.
Yeah.
Salmon gums? Is it-
Salmon gums, yeah. That-
Is that actually a
yeah.
town?
Yep. Yeah.
There's somewhere in Queensland called Sauce Bottle Swamp.
Yeah.
So there you go. Some
Yeah,
some
cool.
goodies.
Yeah. There's also a town
Can't Google
called...
I can see your eyes dart to that
I
other
did.
screen.
Actually, there is actually a suburb in Perth called Dog Swamp.
Yes, there is. Yeah, you used to call me Dog Swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, among other things.
When you were living in the swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's January 7th, 2024. Peak summer in Australia. 24-year-old Corby Warpole is throwing a party.
That was only last year.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yep. I know we're topical, we're recent.
Well, but also like the mushy one was like 2 years ago. So this is the most recent
Yeah.
one we've done.
Well, yeah, I guess it is.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah. We're gonna be in the news.
Yeah, look at us go. Yeah, we might be.
Yeah.
A few mates, drinks, music, nothing fancy. One of the guests, Jake Loader, 23 years old. They've been friends for nearly a decade. Close mates, a bit of banter, the kind of friends who have seen each other through it all. But tonight, something changes. The drinks are flowing. A lot of drinks. According to court records, Corby consumed somewhere between 23 and 35 alcoholic drinks. And she snorted cocaine too.
It's a lot, eh? It's a lot of drinks. Do you reckon you've ever had
It
between
is.
23 and 35 alcoholic drinks in one session before, Flan?
Don't know. It'd be hard to tell, I reckon. Like, surely when 23 and 35, that's quite a specific number, but
Didn't you and
how do they
you and
figure that
Chonky
out?
once, when you were living in your uncle's basement, like buy a bottle of Jack Daniels each and drink the whole thing
Yeah.
in an afternoon?
Actually, it was a bottle of Jim Beam
Jim Beam,
each,
yeah.
and it was not when we're living in the basement. Not that that's relevant, but yeah, we did drink a bottle of Jim Beam each. How many standard drinks one of them?
20, I reckon.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. That's a guess.
Yeah.
Look it up.
I don't know. Yeah, mate, I probably have
Yeah.
one day back in the day.
Yeah, of course you have.
What about you? That'd be that's a weeknight for you, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
And more on the weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 23 to 35. So, yeah, I would never drink more than 35. Like, that's ludicrous.
Yeah.
But,
What did Booney drink that time?
oh, it was a
the
lot,
airplane.
eh? It was like 38 beers or something. So, Jim Beam is 20 standard
Yeah.
drinks in a bottle. Fuck, that's pretty good of me.
Ah,
So
yeah.
that.
Yeah, well done. Also, you have 95% strong alcohol, which you've like whipped up in your garage,
Yes. You know, it's funny, actually.
and you're not blind yet.
52 beers Booney drank, allegedly.
Wow.
That's a lot. In like whatever the flight is to England from Australia.
That was a short haul, I think, wasn't it? Sydney to Brisbane or something.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, I don't drink 92%. Well, I do actually, because I make what I call slum Tories, which are like, you know what a Suntory, like the double lemon, those Japanese things.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I buy like Kirk's lemon squash and put like my homemade vodka in it. It's like make my own
Yeah,
slum
right.
Tory. But yeah, but instead of putting 2 shots of like 40% in it, I'll put 1 shot of like 95% and get like roughly the same effect. So that's water.
Yeah.
So winning.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. Price of water these days.
That's right. Well, you had to mix it with distilled
Everything
water and
counts.
have to buy it from Bunnings. So, yeah.
Well, you don't have to buy it from Bunnings. And
Well, that's true. I own it still.
by the way,
So I could make it myself.
yeah, that's it. What do you got cooking over there, Doggo? Oh, just some water. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't condone shopping at Bunnings on this podcast, by the way.
Yeah, you got caught stealing from Bunnings once, didn't you, Flan?
No, I did not. I've never been caught stealing.
Oh, must have been someone
I've never
else,
stolen anything, actually.
haven't you?
Yeah. Yep. So,
Stole my innocence when we were kids.
Jesus. Okay. The mood shifts. The kind of shift you don't notice at first. Tension creeps in. Conversations tighten. Someone says something dumb. And then Jake turns to Corby and says, if you can't handle your drinks, maybe you should stay in the kitchen making scones.
You dumb fuck.
It's sexist. It's smug. Corby feels belittled.
So Jake said that to her.
Yeah.
I thought she said that to him. Yeah.
No, Jake said to Corby,
I think you said it the
can't
wrong way
handle your
around.
drinks. I definitely didn't. Jake. Doggo's giving me a real dumb look and giving me a thumbs up. Corby feels belittled, but she doesn't yell. He doesn't cry. She quietly walks away into the garage. And when she comes back, she's holding a container of petrol. Corby walks right up to Jake. Without a word, she pours petrol over him. People scream. Some think she's joking. Others start yelling, trying to stop her. But Jake, he stands there, soaked in petrol, and says, go on, do it.
That was a dumb thing to say, eh?
And Corby does.
It.
She flicks the lighter. Woof. A dog barks nearby. And then woof. The dog barked again.
I'm just timestamping that so you can get it the hell out of here.
One would have been funny, two was too far.
And then woof. Jake is on fire. Chaos erupts. Corby yells, what the fuck have I done? He told me to do it. Guests rush to smother the flames. One grabs a dog bed, maybe from the dog that barked twice. Someone else drags Jake to the pool. He dives in, the fire is gone. But Jake is barely alive. Now, I've got a question for you, Doggo. Have you ever lit one of your friends on fire?
Yes. But no, I didn't personally do it, I don't think. I reckon Chonky might have actually done the lighting.
Yeah. You didn't light them on fire. I did. You just sprayed him with the hose where he wasn't on fire.
Yeah. So I was pretty much, because I'm a member of a fire brigade, I was in charge of extinguishing said.
Are you actually a member of a fire brigade?
Yeah, I don't think it expires. As a volunteer fire brigade, and I was officially a member. Or I signed up to officially at that time. Probably.
That's a lie. No, definitely not. So, all right, I'll tell the story then.
I'm a fireman, all right. So
you're definitely not a fireman.
Just because I get paid to do it, I'm still a fireman, all right. I'm officially a member of a fire brigade. So go fuck yourself. That's why I'm always in a calendar every year. That's why I've got a 6-pack.
Right.
They could have gone way worse than it did, right?
Yeah, but we didn't use petrol at least. So
we used Lynx.
How did we?
Africa, I think.
Yeah. Deodorant.
Yep. So just gave his head a good spraying with Lynx Africa.
Hair, like top of his head, right? Not his face or anything. Like,
I think it was his hair.
It was pretty liberal though. It was, and then.
What a fucking stupid thing to do, eh?
Well, then we, then I lit it up with a lighter. It went.
Yeah.
And Doggo was, because he's in the fire brigade, so he was manning the hose. And so essentially it was the top of his head that had That's where the flames were.
Yeah.
And Doggo just had full force of the hose just directly on his face while his head continued to burn.
I know.
But
fucking asshole too.
yeah, but look, after, I think it was 2 months in hospital and 76 skin grafts, he's actually doing okay now.
Yeah, I donated some skin off my ass. That's why he
fine.
looks like a patchwork quilt these days. But
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's all right.
He's
All in
thankfully
good
still
fun.
alive, and really it was a life-changing moment for him, right? Like, he really has just changed his priorities. He's focusing on things that matter,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever said thank you, though.
He doesn't care about the small things anymore. He's just focused on
every day's a blessing.
That's right. He's living his life.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So Jake, barely alive. Jake is rushed to hospital. He has third-degree burns over 55% of his body. He's placed in a medically induced coma, 10 surgeries, 74 days in hospital. His life shattered. Corby is arrested. She's charged with maliciously inflicting grievous bodily harm. So, in court, we learn more. Corby pleads guilty. She says she was overwhelmed by a recent breakup, struggling with mental health, and drowning in substance abuse. The judge, Jennifer English, calls the act unprovoked and particularly violent.
Hey, if she was struggling with substance abuse, you would think that she'd be able to hold her piss, like she'd be more piss fit, right? And so Jake was...
Well, I mean...
So does that make... Yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to say, because that's why it ends up being a really complicated case, because he literally said, go on, do it. So that allows her to do it. But then at the same time, if she's using substance abuse as an argument, then she legally should be more piss fit. So you can't you can't have your drugs and set fire to your
doesn't
mate
it?
too.
As the old saying goes. Yes, but that's a fair point, because also I'm not sure about cocaine, whether that makes you more alert and aware if you've been drinking or not. I know it's only lasts for like half an hour.
You can't have cocaine without drinking, though. So, like, surely you'd be...
Yes, that's it, yeah. Oh, quick, let's get the coke out.
Yeah.
We're playing a board game, Gavin.
Have you ever had cocaine sober?
No,
Well, there you go.
I have never had
I just did a quick
cocaine.
survey, and 100% of participants said they've never had cocaine without drinking at the same time. I'm going to do this shot.
Actually, not what he said.
I'm going to do this shot.
Yes.
You ready?
Okay. Doggo is pouring his cinnamon whiskey shot. He's lit the match. All right.
You see that flame?
Oh,
Sort of.
yeah. Yeah. All right. That's pretty poor taste, Doggo. Just saying.
Yeah, that's
Just
probably a
saying.
bit far. We've just talked about a young man that's had some like devastating burn injuries.
Yeah.
Oh, I
And
burned my esophagus.
Oh, yeah, you reckon you're burnt?
Oh, yeah.
Have a chat
You
with
know how he
Jake
feels.
Loader and talk about burnt esophaguses.
I would compare stories. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, nice. Yeah, good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go tell Turia Pitt that how sore your esophagus is now.
Oh. I honestly,
Wow.
I don't feel as bad as last week or whatever it was when we
Yeah.
did. Had to have that like charcoal drink after eating some beef Wellington. That was just it was too close to home, eh?
How was the flatulence after that?
Oh, it didn't help at all.
Did it sort you out?
Nah, I was like tooting like a trumpet.
Did you do a black shit?
No. I put 2 capsules into like 1 drink as well. The black lemonade was pretty good. It was a little bit gritty, but other than that, it was okay. But no, normal coloured poos.
Have you been back to the pharmacy?
No. Well, I said last week I wasn't going to ever.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to a different pharmacy.
To the one in the town next door.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. The judge called the act unprovoked and particularly violent. Corby is sentenced to 7 years and 6 months in prison. She'll be eligible for parole in November 2029.
How long was she sentenced for?
7.5 years.
Yeah, 7.5 years.
No idea, was it?
Nah, what do you think would be a fair sentence?
Well, I'm no judge, am I?
Well, if you were
he's
like
a fireman, mate.
Yeah, I'm a fireman. I know I'm well respected in the community, but I'm no judge.
But if Judge Doggins got to provide the sentence, and
You're a martyr. You're a filthy martyr.
Sorry, yeah. What would you sentence the sentence? I've forgotten her name. Corby to.
Yeah, about 7.5 years, I reckon.
Yeah,
You reckon I got that right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you reckon that's fair?
Yeah, I put my faith in
I don't know. It seems like, but he did tell her to do it, so really he should probably be in prison as well.
Yeah.
Once he gets out of hospital, straight to the big house.
He's currently in the infirmary at the maximum security prison. He's got to take some accountability for it though.
Oh yeah. I'm just having this fireball. I was drinking it with ice because I had my whiskey with the shot. It's so sweet, eh? There must be so much sugar in that shit.
Yeah. Drinking a fireball. Nice.
Yeah. Well, it's really unpleasant.
This is actually, like, in all honesty, of all the bad taste conversations that we've had, this one's probably made me the most uncomfortable.
Oh, really? Why?
I reckon. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Because I was just reading about this, and the whole thing's really sad because she's also extremely upset and traumatized by it as well, and someone that's done stupid, regrettable things whilst having a big night.
Intoxicated.
It is
by 35 standard drinks and cocaine.
You've never lit someone on fire though. Oh wait, hang on. Yeah, you have. Yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah.
No, but look, it was just the whole situation was very sad.
Oh.
Wow.
Didn't realise you had a heart, Chonk Donkey, in that big old hairy donkey chest of yours. But here we are. Outside the courtroom, Jake says, "I wouldn't wish what happened to me on my worst enemy, but I hope Corby gets help."
That's pretty level-headed.
Yeah.
Of him.
She didn't. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say he wasn't that articulate because the lower half of his face was missing. But
Oh God, yeah. Okay. In the town of How Long, people are stunned. They knew both of them, grew up with them. One neighbour says, "It's like someone flipped a switch. I still can't believe she did it." Online, the case goes viral. TikTok, Reddit, Instagram, everyone's got an opinion. Some say Corby snapped under pressure. Others say that's no excuse. You don't light people on fire. One post put it best.
Don't.
This isn't about...
Are you reading posts? Do you know it's fucking...
No?
Honestly, if I read a news article and
Yeah.
as soon as it gets to the point where they start quoting comments that people have said on social media, I close the article immediately.
That's pretty much all news articles are these days.
That's a
Just
rule.
Reddit posts.
Oh,
they
it's
literally go through and say, one user, XL Penis 15,
Oh my God.
said, and it's just some random
my
on the
nut.
internet.
Any journalism that is quoting commenters of social media does not deserve to fucking be published. I swear to God, it's horrible.
Hey,
As you were,
okay, I
Flan.
won't say it.
Yeah, as you were.
Okay. Okay, no, I won't say it. But what I will say is this. This case got brought to my attention by a friend from work. So thanks, friend from work. You don't listen to the podcast, so probably pointless shout out. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what I've done to upset you that you won't support my podcast, but that's cool. Anyway, that's a story for another day. She was saying that apparently a lot of the commentary around it has been people saying things like, what was he wearing? And was he out by himself late at night? So they're trying to, flip the switch of that victim blaming, where if a woman gets, attacked or something, and people are like, oh, what were they wearing at the time? And that sort of thing. So there's been comments of what was he wearing at the time? Was he out late at night by himself?
That's stupid though. He's a man. So how is that relevant?
I don't know if people get your, what's the word? Sarcasm, but yeah.
But that is, look, and I think there is a very, very fair argument to be had there and about the treatment and safety of women. I don't think this is a very good application of comparing the two. I think regardless of which gender's which here, it's going to be exactly the same horrific results.
Yeah, I still come back to that thing that he told her to do it, so he has some sort of culpability.
Well, he kind of has all the culpability.
Doggo doesn't agree. Shaking his head, which isn't ideal for an audio
Might as well have done it himself.
format. But yeah, pretty much. I know, well, that's it. If you tell someone to do something and they do it and you're not happy with the outcome, don't know, before you start...
Should have provided a scope of works.
Yeah, before you start accusing people and telling them that they need help, maybe you need to look a bit closer to home.
Well, definitely needs help now.
Yeah.
Help eating.
Yeah.
Help getting around. Help showering.
Jesus. Okay. One moment, you're at a party, laughing, drinking, taking the piss out of your friends. The next, you're in a pool, on fire, barely alive. This story isn't about monsters. It's about how one split-second decision made whilst intoxicated can change your whole life. Thanks for joining us for this episode of Hangovers from Hell. I'm Flan. Stay safe, stay kind, and if your mate you've just poured petrol on tells you to light him up, don't. Thanks everyone, thanks for listening. Come say hi on social media. Go to our website.
Do we have social media?
Yep.
What have we got? TikTok.
TikTok, Facebook, Instagram,
Fuck yeah.
YouTube,
YouTube. Is it YouTube social
Yeah.
media? I don't think it is.
YouTube Shorts.
Still not social media.
Well, we're on there,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
look it up.
Yeah, it's good.
But yeah, TikTok's a good one. Get on there. Got some pretty good vids on there.
Made him yourself, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
certainly did.
Well done.
Yeah,
Tough.
say hi.
Do a good
Lovely
job,
prompts.
Flan. Well done.
Thanks. All right, boys. Good to see ya.
Okay.
We'll see everyone next time
Yeah, okay.
for another episode of Hangovers from hell.
Good night.
Bye.